Hello everyone, Julia Sheehan here, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Tonight I'd like to show you how I made this card. I wanted to do something a little bit different, and so I've done it as a square card, which obviously means you'll probably have to make your own envelope to go with it. However, it's, I think, really nice to get a card this shape, and I really enjoyed making it. I've used the wrapped in Plaid DSP for this, which these truly are beautiful pieces of paper. There's so much to choose from, and these, you know, you could use so many different cards using different ones. These are the ones I've chosen again tonight, and I did this one on a shaded spruce. I did another one on cherry cobbler, which matches into the colours as well. And the one I'm going to do tonight is on Night of Navy. Now, you'll need a piece of Night of Navy cardstock measuring 10 3/4 of an inch by 5 3/8 of an inch. And when you fold that, it becomes 5 3/8 by 5 3/8. You'll need a piece of gold foil cardstock. I'll just tilt that the right way so it doesn't do odd things. And that is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4 inches. And then a piece of Whisper White measuring 5 by 5. And again, if you watched my video last week and previous ones, I do like to, when I use gold cardstock, to make a decent border of it, so it is larger than the one against the Night of Navy. Okay, apart from that, we're going to need the dies from Frosted Frames dies, and I'm using this one and this one. And with this one, when I cut this one, which is joined, I actually cut it and separate it so that I use it as two different dies, these two, and it actually balances that one out because these little flower bits are on the opposite side. But you'll see that as I go, and then just using this cute little one as well. Then I'm using the fourth circle, the plain circle of the layering circles, and the fourth scalloped circle from the center, and that is just to cut this for the sentiment. And I'm using the sentiment from the Perfectly Plaid that says Merry Christmas. Now, I know it looks like there's a lot of things for this, but actually this card goes together very, very quickly. And I have cut out the pieces so that I'm prepared for this, but it's just a matter of using your tree punch here, and all you have to do is cut all these trees, and I try and get some of the gold in each of them as well where I can, and they just come out like that. So there's plenty there, so I've done that. Now I'll put the tree together, and what I do is I just cut a circle using my 2-inch punch. So I'm just going to cut a circle out like that, and being very high tech, which I'm joking actually, what I do is I get the bottom of one of these containers, and this one is just my clear embossing powder, and sit it on that circle and draw a circle around the base. It's very technical. And so I just do that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly in the center, because all it's doing is allowing us to put the trees together. So we'll do the trees first. And here they are, all my different trees that I cut out. And I'm going to start with the green trees tonight, I think. And I'm just using Tombow, and I'm just putting a little bit of Tombow on that area of my tree, and then the base of the tree, not this piece here, but the actual base of the tree sits on the line, and that overlaps the line like that. And you don't have to be like perfect with it. It's just a matter of being then able to, now I'm going to get the opposite one and pop that on as well. It just gives me a rough idea of around my circle. And so again, on the line, opposite your other one, and just press that bit down. Okay, so we've got those two on, and then from there we're just going to do the rest around the circle. Now, I found that the best way to do this is to put them on so that they sit on the circle there and they don't quite touch the last one that you put down, like that. So that's that one, and then I'm going to go with the blue one. Now, Night of Navy, and again on your circle, not quite touching. Like that. And then I think we need a red one. I've got two different red ones here. I don't know if it's quite clear that they are, but they are quite different. And then you slide that one in underneath that one and just sit it in there. And then your one with the most white on it. So I've used one of each so far. And again, I'm just going to slide it in under that green tree. That one's, oops, sorry about that. This one's just moving a little bit at the moment. And then slide it in under the green tree and pop it in there between them. And there you go. That's half of it done. And then we just repeat that pattern. So we're just going to do that again. So overlap, press it down, then blue, just following the same pattern as you did before, sitting it on the circle, leaving that slight gap between the base of the tree. My Tombo's got a lot of wiggle to it tonight. It's very hot here, so perhaps that's got something to do with it. Then a bit more this one. That you slide in underneath. And then lastly our white one. And just pop that in there. Whoop. They're really moving tonight. There we are. And that's it. That part's done. So, it's quick and easy. It's not one where you have to measure everything out. You just do it around the circle with just that slight gap, using this highly technical equipment to make your circle. And yeah, we're there. So I'm going to now just do my embossing of my sentiment. So just find where I put that. There it is. And some VersaMark ink, my embossing buddy. And had it sitting out before, and I think it's just picked up a little bit of... My cat decided to do a walk across my desk, so I think a little bit of his hair might have got on there. Okay. And I'm using gold embossing powder tonight. So I'll just pick that up. It's gone on well. And we'll just quickly get the heat gun. Sorry about the noise. Just make sure it's hot enough. I do love embossing. Such a lovely font on this sentiment, and it comes up so nicely. And then I'm using that fourth circle to cut this out. It's a very close fit, but it does fit. So if you look at it there, you can see it's quite a close fit, but I didn't want a lot of extra around it, and it comes out nicely on it. You know, you've got all of the letters there, so it's not like it's cut anything off it. So I'm just going to put that through, and I'll be right back. Okay, so that's done, and that's there ready to go. And I've also taken my piece of gold foil and I've cut the center out of it, as I always do. I take a piece out of it to use for another card somewhere, and so that's going to come in handy. It's nicely framed with the stitch framelits, and that will become very useful later on somewhere else. Just saves me wasting the center of my gold foil when I don't need to. And I will pop that on here now. Just make sure I get my opening the right way. And put this on here. I mean, it really is a quick card to put together, although it did take me ages to work out what I wanted to do. I fiddled around with this DSP and with various different things to come up with this card, but in the end I was happy with what I came up with. There we go. And I know that looks very strange now, but it'll be covered up, and I used the thick Whisper White for the white so that that'll cover it. You don't even know I've cut the center out of it, and it means that I get good value out of my gold cardstock. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you would already know that I do this. I just like to save what I can. Because I'm always running out of the foil. I use it quite a lot. Now, this one is just a bit wider because I do like to showcase the gold when I use it on any cards, and so therefore I just make it just a little bit wider than normal so that it stands out there behind. Okay, now I've already cut out the scallop. I'm then just going to glue this onto there. My glue's starting to run out a bit. So I'm just going to pop that onto my scalloped background. And just have that nice little scallop peeping over the edge there. Just press that down. And then that is going to go over the centre of my trees. There we go. And just deciding which tree goes where. I might do it this way tonight. And putting my Merry Christmas on. There we go. And again, that's going to hold everything together as well as what I've done underneath here. Okay, now just get our card, and I'm now going to put this all up on dimensionals, and I just find those, they got a bit lost here. I'm using up all my bits and pieces, all my little edges and bits that are left over, because I put quite a few on here, and it just means that I'm not using up others when, if there's really no point, I can go through all of these, and it becomes quite useful. So I just put a few around here like this. Very random. I just like it to be secure when you give it to someone, so I just like to put a few on there. Doesn't matter where you put them, what angle you put them, and it uses up all these extra bits that are always lying around. I don't know about you, but I seem to always have so many of them, just little bits hanging here and there. Okay, so like that, and then I'm using the mini dots and just putting them on the tip of each tree. That just makes it nice and secure. One's come off for me. You can take them off as you go, it doesn't really matter. Sorry, this bit's a little bit tedious watching, but you can see how quickly it sort of happens. And you can put on as many or as few dimensionals as you want. I just tend to probably overkill, but I just like to have the security of it. Okay, that's those. And then just take the rest of these off very quickly. I'll be making quite a few more of these. I make cards for my mother, as she can't get to the shops anymore, and she likes a few cards to give her friends, and I think this is one that they would like, so I'll do a few of these for her, and a few of those bookmark ones that I did last week. The card and the bookmark. Right, that's ready to go on there now, so just make sure I've got my opening the right way. Yes. And then just sitting it on there. There we go. And just give that a nice little press so that it all sticks down. Then I've got all these pieces that I cut out using those dies, and I've prepared them. I've cut the pieces off that I want, and then all I'm going to do is glue these all down. I've got a bit of a mess over here off the camera that you can't see, but that happens. Okay, so I'm just make my Tombow come down a bit. I'm just putting a dab on here and there. And then just setting those in underneath. So just you can put them any configuration you want. This is just how I'm doing them. Just want it to all glue down. I'm going to slide that one in. Oop! I'll get my tweezers. Might be easier. Okay, and just slide that in there. And it goes in around the dimensionals the way that I've put them on there anyway. And then we'll get another one of these. Slide that one in. And I don't mind having it sort of come out over the edge of the gold as well. I quite like that. Just pop that little bit underneath there. And then I might pop a small one on. Whoops. So it's just randomly putting these in. I mean, you can balance them. Mine are reasonably balanced the way I've put them on. There. Then I'll do another. I'm not sure whether this is a flower or a seed. I sort of get the feeling that it might be a seed carrier. If anybody knows, leave me a message please and let me know what it is exactly. It looks like a bit like it's a seed. Pop that in there, and then we'll do another large one. There we go. Slide that one in. Another one of these. They're very pretty, these. Slide that in there. I think I might be short. Oh no, I'm not short, I don't think. I think I've got them all. I cut them all last night, so I had quite a few of them. The card's nearly finished. And then this bit under here. Like that. Put this one on. I'm going to get glue on my fingers if I do that. That one in there. And the last little one here. And slide that one in. Put that gut there. Okay, there it is. That's basically the card. I haven't done the inside yet, but I think I'm just going to stamp one of these like little images on the inside there, or maybe a gold tree or something. I don't know. I'll just think about that. But there's my card. That one's done on the Night of Navy. Shaded Spruce, Cherry Cobbler. How quick and easy is it to put that card together? Now I hope you enjoyed that and that you have a go at that one and sort of embrace that beautiful DSP, and you can do so much with it. I did do another card a couple of weeks ago using the same Perfectly Plaid but completely different card. So I hope you enjoyed this evening. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love it if you did, and share it, and thumbs up if you liked it, or a comment, or if there's a sort of card that you'd like me to do, please just comment and I'd be happy to do the best I can to help out anything you might want to know. If you don't have a demonstrator and you would like any of these products, I'll leave a link below to my online store. Pop in there and have a browse around. There's some beautiful things to use in there, and you never know what you might find. And there's some gorgeous papers in there at the moment. Okay, have a great week, everyone, and I look forward to being back again next week. Bye for now.